I'm Kerry Trainor. I'm the CEO of Vimeo. We're a video sharing platform, and we come to South by Southwest pretty much every year because the independent filmmaking community has always been a really core part of Vimeo's community, really since its launch almost 10 years ago. And so, we're always here to show our support and embrace that community, and of course talk to them about the new things that we have coming out on the platform. This year we have two really exciting announcements in that we've announced a $10 million funding program actually for independent video and film creators to bring their work to a new service on Vimeo called Vimeo On Demand that we launched 1 year ago here at South by Southwest that empowers any filmmaker to sell their work directly to their audiences worldwide at a price of their choosing, giving only 10% of the revenue to Vimeo. And so that's been very successful, and so we're really excited to announce this $10 million fund to further support independent creators. Today we also just announced, in addition to the funding, a whole series of upgrades to the Vimeo On Demand experience, so it'll be even easier for viewers to discover great content from creators around the world. Well, Vimeo has always set out to focus on a different audience, I think, whereas I think those platforms are really successful at a sort of general kind of more mass use case. Vimeo has always focused on the higher quality, generally more professional creator. So a lot of our user base is made of filmmakers or ad industry professionals or others, small businesses looking to share their work in a very clean, uncluttered environment. Unlike those services, we really don't have any advertising in the stream. We don't do anything pre-roll. So I think that creates a different experience for both the creators as well as the viewers. I think it's kind of led to a different content catalog on Vimeo, where we tend to have content that's generally a little bit more professional, less sort of about typical UGC, which I think is great and very popular with many viewers. But the Vimeo experience is a little bit different. So those are the ways that we distinguish from the other open sharing platforms. And then in terms of the larger viewing services you mentioned, like Hulu or Netflix, Hulu is really a television model only. Again, a very successful service, but it's really about television series. Whereas Vimeo, we really cater to all sort of forms and formats. It doesn't have to be 30-minute television. It can be any length of content. And then, we're somewhat similar to Netflix in that it's an ad-free, paid experience. Unlike the open platforms, we charge for our tools. We don't give them away for free, again, because there's no advertising in the stream. And now with Vimeo On Demand, we also charge viewers for certain content on the site. We have some of the characteristics of the open video sharing platforms and some of the characteristics of paid distribution services like Netflix. We're just going to kind of continue to pursue that path that we think is what makes us unique. Any two-sided platform like ours, where there are creators and their watchers, or whether it's in video, or whether it's Twitter, or whether it's Tumblr, or whether, Facebook, many web platforms have this relationship, where there's makers or there's contributors and then there's consumers of that, and we're no exception. And the way that we balance it is, historically, Vimeo has really always focused on the creator first, and giving them fantastic tools to share their content, because ultimately, if creators like the tools, they will bring content to the service, and then content will bring viewers. So I think at the very core, you have to remain focused on the creators, which we absolutely always will. That said, now, because we do have a large viewing audience, we now have, according to ComScore at least, we have nearly 170 million viewers worldwide every month. We are turning more specific attention to deepening the viewing experience. So the product features that we announced just this morning, we redesigned the whole homepage of our Vimeo On Demand service. We introduced a whole series of curated genre pages where you can explore and discover content by different types. And we introduced a new feature called Collections, where other brands are going to be including Patagonia and the film festival Slamdance, as well as the film distributor Oscilloscope, can now create their own curated collections within Vimeo. All of these things we think are going to lead to a much richer experience for viewers, so that when they do come to us, as you said, they stay around longer and they keep coming back and they ultimately consume more and more of the great content we have on Vimeo. I think it's one of the things that makes South by a very special event is you have the technology side of it and the content side of it and the creative side of it all come together. So we are here looking for content and trying to educate filmmakers on the ability to distribute using Vimeo on demand and we think potentially earn more revenue with greater control than they might through other platforms. So we're telling that story to the filmmakers. And we're also here to talk about the new technical features that we've released. So this is really kind of the perfect setting for us to talk about both the technical developments as well as the content investments that we're making. We're a company based in New York. The U.S. has almost always been our largest market, but we are also very widely used around the world. And this is a year where we're thinking a lot more about sort of investing in those markets more explicitly. So the site is available in Spanish and French and German. We do sell, for instance, our subscription tools in euros as well as dollars. But this year we'll see a pretty exciting expansion in terms of the languages and currencies and markets that we'll be able to offer our tools in. We haven't yet located any folks in any other markets, but that may come in the future as well.
Great, thank you.
Thanks so much.